In this video, we're going to be going over some brand new Grow Garden leaks as well as what we expect for a perfect update coming up. As you guys know, the first part of the Christmas update I think has been very well received. It actually introduced a lot of stuff and it actually looks so good. Like, they ended up changing the entire map. They added so many brand new events and it's just very fun to play in comparison to previous ones. Now, before this update came out, I had the opportunity to talk to the developers regarding the entirety of the Christmas updates and all of the future ones to come. Because in case you didn't know, the developers told me that this Christmas update is going to be 3 weeks long. As you can see, David right here, and he said, this guy, by the way, he is literally the owner of the game, and he said 3 weeks of festive fun when we were talking about future updates. And to be honest, I think the first week has been amazing, but there is a lot to come for the second week. Now, first things I should mention, one of the things that came brand new is this advent calendar, which the best reward is actually this gingerbread blossom. And as you can see, in order to get this, you actually have to play through the entirety of this advent calendar. And there is one sucky part about it, because if you miss even one day, then it costs 49 Robux in order to recover. And keep in mind, that's the price for the earlier rewards. You know, who knows, maybe later on that price could get higher and higher. But when you actually get to the requirement, which is 19 completions, you can obtain this brand new blossom seed. We actually have not received a brand new blossom seed since like the bone blossom, and that turned out to be the best seed in the game by a lot. So this will probably do the same exact thing. And oh my gosh, there's a snow event going on. Just look at how good the game looks when it's Christmassy themed, bro. They actually kind of cook. But this is something that we can expect to come in week 3, because even if I were to, go ahead, recover this, recover that, and then, just skip the quest once again, it would actually honestly be a very long time until we get to what we need. So that is not coming in part 2. But let's talk about something that's guaranteed to come. One of the top leakers for this game leaked this Robux transition, and it's called Repeat Christmas Gift, and then called Skip Present Submission. As you can see, both of them do cost 49 Robux as well. But what could this actually mean? Considering both of these were uploaded at the same time, it's very likely that they have the same functionality. Now, I should mention, currently there is a thing inside the game right here, skip the present requirement. You can hold F, it obviously costs some Robux, but this is for the mutated fruit submission. It's very likely that this is going to be the same thing, except in a different way for a part 2, which, to be honest, it's not the most exciting to hear. So that's why I have a lot of suggestions for the developers to hopefully take into account. That way we have an amazing Christmas update. Now, as you guys know, one of the most requested things that I think everybody would be happy with is bigger plots. As you know, we've had the same plot size for a while, even including this tiny little, plot. For some reason, they decided to add that. But the plot size in the game has been the same. But you know what hasn't actually been the same? The map size. They actually went ahead and reduced the map size and player count per server to 4 players instead of the good old 5, which allowed for 5 players, meaning there was, 2 more rows of plots. But now that there's less, the developers actually said that they would eventually be able to add more upgrades because of that change. And I don't know about you, bro, but the game looks exactly the same to me. And David said, thanks for making vids, bro. Appreciate all the feedback. I always watch them when I run. So hopefully David plans to be running very soon. Because please, bro, finally introduce more slots. Even if it's something that you have to unlock with some sort of quest line, that would actually be so fun to play. It doesn't have to be something you directly buy with shekels. Because as you know, everybody has basically an infinite amount of shekels. And any price that you put on it is either very unfair for new players, or it's just too easy for the old exploited amounts of money inside the game. But even if we were to get one expansion in the back, bro, that would be sick. There's still plenty of space here, and I don't think anybody just randomly decides to walk back here. But more onwards to the Christmas event. Now, something I noticed while playing this event is for this Christmas mutated plants, obviously, you got to get plants for it. But when I come over here to my garden and I collect plants, you will find out that only a few seconds after starting to collect, so like I'm in the starting section here, as you can see, this happens. Max backpack space, go sell. And you might be, well, like numerous. Maybe you just have a lot of stuff in your inventory that you cannot sell. Well, let me go ahead and submit everything here, and there we go. Boom, I submitted everything there, and then I'm just gonna sell all my plants to get rid of anything. If I go ahead also show you guys my plants over here, there is a decent bit, but it's not that much. It's mostly these gigantic bone blossoms that I use for cash. But if I'm gonna be honest, this is really not that many whatsoever. It's a very small amount compared to the amount of space I have. But now if I go ahead and start harvesting everything, let's start up in this section right here. You will find out very quickly that we're gonna fill up, and this happens very fast. Like, I'm still collecting stuff. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, okay. Literally any second. Boom, there it is. Max backpack space, go sell once again. When you're playing an event that relies on you putting in 200 things, this becomes a very annoying and tedious process, and it's just really not that fun. And the reason why this is happening is because inside of the game, you actually collect stuff from previous events. Everything that's in your inventory counts towards your fruit space. Yes, I'm not even joking. These fireworks that have nothing to do with the event, yup, they count towards my inventory space. And then, I have a lot of seeds inside this game that I simply don't need. Like, I got, bro, what is this? Rose seed. You got the Zenith seed pack. Like, what the heck is that? Artichoke seed, ghost bush, all this stuff that I just seriously do not need. And the only way to actually get rid of them is by planting them, letting them grow, and then deleting them. So it would be really cool if there was some sort of dispenser or present machine for the Christmas event where we could fill up boxes with stuff that we just simply do not need. It's kind of like what we currently have with the mutated plants, but you can literally submit anything. That allows players to get rid of excess materials, and it's just very fun to play through. And honestly, they could do the same thing they did when they introduced the Bone Blossom, where you could actually put in pets in order to get some new Christmas themed pets. Keep in mind, there is a lot of pets to come with this next part of the update, because with the current one that we got, we actually did not receive much pets other than this, present thing. But that'll allow players to have more space and stuff like that. It's very good. And I mean, devs, if you do not want to do that, at least, bro, please go ahead and update the Garden Ascension machine. This guy has actually not been touched whatsoever in the terms of stuff you can get since the second update after they released it. And they did change one thing, which is the ascending process. Now you actually don't even give any types of plants anymore. You can simply ascend with just shekels, which is cool and all, but what is the point of that if you can only upgrade so much? Okay, we got plant inventory capacity upgrade, bro. I get 10 additional 10 additional slots for 40 of these coins, bro. I don't even have enough. So yes, please add some sort of way to earn them. Or even better yet, earn it into the free-to-play track for the season pass. That would be cool. Maybe for the next one or something that gives new players some benefits to keep playing, and it also gives people who spend money still some benefits. And the next thing I want to take into discussion that I think a lot of players could benefit from is actually some better chances, and that's something I feel like is an unbalance in this new update. Oh my god, as I'm recording, Adrian decided to add me on Discord. We need to start DMing him this stuff. But that is the one thing I feel like is a little bit unbalanced with this update, because to consider, one, you have to actually submit these Christmas presents, which is a tedious process if you have a full inventory. But other than that, if you actually look at the gifting rewards and you go to the individual section, your odds of getting the better tier stuff is not that good. And keep in mind, this is just to get these Santa surprise presents. So after you get this, you have to actually get lucky to get this Krampus, which I will say, very disappointed on the chances here. The developers literally said they were never going to do something this low of a chance again. And it's literally the same chance as the Kitsune, bro. That thing was impossible to get. There is also this thing coming in the next update, or I guess in a future update, meaning 1 or 2 updates from now, called the North Pole weather controller. And this is actually more of a leak directly from the developers because they put it in the game already, and it's a feature that I think is going to stay permanently. Currently, it is the North Pole version because obviously it's a Christmas event, but this will probably allow us to, just launch a bunch of weather events inside of the game, because as you can see, it's literally called the weather controller, bro. If that's not what it means, I have no idea. You do also unlock, more weather events and stuff like that, which is amazing. Don't get me wrong, I love that about it, and I hope they continue adding more into the milestones. But to say if they are going to add more milestones, which I believe they really should, it's an amazing thing to get players playing for, but the milestones need to be made easier, bro. After a week, we've only made it to like 35 million, and the last one was 100 million. Dog, that is gonna take us a whole nother week before we can even get close into imagining that. And that also makes this shop kind of useless. Other than Santa's surprise present that you can just straight up buy here, I mean, it's not that useful. I really did like the fact before when you could restock the shop yourself. I thought, although, it was a little bit broken, it was kind of a nice feature. Instead of making the restock every single day, make it to where the price to restock resets every maybe like 2 days. It makes it more balanced and more fair overall. And I should mention, there really needs to be a way in order to get back on track for this, because to not be able to, get anything if you miss a single day, I think is a little bit harsh, considering players are at different levels. So what if they're not good, or what if they didn't even play Grow Garden when the event started? Now they just can't get the Bone Blossom. There's also a good chance in the future there might be more ways to obtain this thing. That's currently the only way right now, though. Another thing I'd love to see, and I think a lot of players would benefit from seeing, is a change of the pet mutations in here. Obviously, keep primary ones such as, Rainbow, because it's amazing. People love it. And, but some of these need to just go, bro. Like, the rarest one, Ascended, with the 0.32 or 0.32% chance. If I ever got that, I would genuinely be very disappointed, because not only is it actually not that good, it's literally the rarest thing to pull, and I would much rather have Rainbow on my pet. So developers, if you get the opportunity to, please go ahead and, add some more mutation stuff that we can grind for. It's pretty cool and interesting to see. I would also love to see them continue this little feature. Or wait, what the heck? Okay, no, it's inside of this area. But yes, the Evo pets or Evo fruits. There was a point where you could get evolutionary fruits inside of the game, and now you actually can't get it anymore unless, like, you have these over here from that update a long time ago, which for some reason that update only lasted 1 day or 1 week, and it would be really cool, I think, to see that back, but more as a permanent thing and not an event, because as an event it's pretty boring, it's weak, and it feels contentless. But if it's permanent in the game, then that gives a lot of players a reason to want to evolve their fruits and stuff like that. That'd just be so cool. Also, I should very much mention the fact that if you currently look in the game, and as you guys saw, there is this gingerbread blossom, but if I actually go look at the garden guide and type in blossom, this does not pop up. It is actually not found here. Every single update, when they do add stuff, they do add the seed into the index, even if you can't get it yet. For example, like, let me go ahead and see, well, there's actually no seeds in here. But if you were to search up literally any seed inside this update, for example, let's look at the rewards right here. Individuals, Santa's Christmas, the gift berry. Why not? I think that's a seed, right? There is some sort of gifting, and as you can see, it's in the game and you can view it. But if I type in gingerbread blossom, it's not here. And considering the fact they're making you wait 19 days in order to get this, could imply that this might actually not be the first transcendent. It could, at a very low chance, go above the rarity of Transcendent. It's just very unlikely, and I really hope it does happen, but I don't know. And the final feature that I have, which actually I've heard is already in testing for the game, but it's not actually available to everyone. Adrian himself leaked this thing where you could teleport to the gear, the seeds, the cell, and the pet shop all up on the top of your screen. Currently, right now, it's only the seeds and the cell, and it's been like that ever since the release of the game. But some players have actually gotten early access or the ability, kind of, I guess, as like a testing phase in order to be able to teleport to these places. However, I just have not seen that personally. I think it'd be really cool if that got pushed out to all players. I don't know why the developers decide to only do it to certain people, but yes, it would be very sick. Bro, I actually gotta start feeding my pets, bro. What's going on? Wait, I'm very curious. Do these foods that are inside this update... Okay, nope, they do not give hunger. Never mind. Those mutations are buns. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please hurry up and watch this video on the screen right here. I went ahead and picked it for you. I think it's a way better video, and I would appreciate it so much if you clicked it. So, pick it fast. This video is about to end, and until then, bye!